أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين.
In this lecture, we will study the third and the final part of prepositional phrases or murakkab jari. Let us revise what we have studied in the previous lectures. We studied that kalima are meaningful words in Arabic, and these meaningful words can either be ism, fail, or harf. We started the study of harf, and we started with murakkab jari or prepositional phrase. We studied that there are some huruf in Arabic grammar that precede an ism, that is, they come before an ism and they make that ism majroor. Such huruf are called huruf jara. Huruf is the plural of harf. Therefore, murakkab jari or prepositional phrase is made by the combination of harf jar, which is followed by an ism that is majroor, and that ism is majroor because of harf jar preceding it. Next, we started the study of the different huruf jara. We studied that there are a total of 17 huruf jara in Arabic language, but we will be studying 11 huruf jara which are most commonly used in the Holy Quran. In the first two parts of the murakkab jari lectures, we have studied the first 8 of these huruf jara. To summarize, they are as follows. First, we have ba harf jar, which means with. For example, bil qalami, which means with the pen. Ba harf jar can be used with majroor pronouns. We need to pay special attention to the way we write and read bihi, bihima, bihim, bihinna. Next is ta harf jar. Ta harf jar is used to swear or to make an oath. Ta harf jar is only used with ism Allah. For example, tallahi. Waw harf jar also means to swear or to make an oath. Waw harf jar can be used with ism Allah as wallahi, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used it with other asma in the Holy Quran. For example, wal asri. Kaf harf jar means like or similar to. For example, kal ma'i, which means like water. Lam harf jar means for. For example, li zaidin, meaning for Zaid. Please note that when lam harf jar is followed by al, the hamzatul wasl of al is not written, such as lil mu'minina. Lam harf jar is also called lam jara. Lam jara can be used with majroor pronouns similar to ba harf jar. And please note that when lam jara is used with personal pronouns, it will be written as follows. It will be written as lam with the zabar on it. Please pay special attention to the way we write and read lahu. Next we have fi. Fi means in, such as fil Qur'ani, that is in the Quran. Fi can also be used with majroor pronouns. We need to pay special attention to the way we read and write fiya, fihinna, fihim, fihima, fihi. An means from. For example, anhu. Please note that when the noon sakin of an is followed by harf with sukoon on it, that is, when two sukoon come next to one another, the sukoon on the last harf of the first word is replaced by zair. and we studied the example of anil fahsha'i. Finally, we have min, which also means from. For example, minhu. Please note that there is an exception to the above rule. When min is followed by a word that has a sukoon on its first harf, then the sukoon of min will be replaced by zabar to become minna. And we studied the example of minas sama'i.
The following are ayat from Surah Al-Qadr, which is the 97th surah of the Holy Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر صدق الله العظيم. In this surah, we will try to identify the different types of murakkab naqis that we have studied so far, with a particular emphasis on identifying murakkab jari. Let us look at each ayah individually. In the first ayah, we see Laylatil Qadri. Laylatil Qadri is a murakkab izafi. Why is it a murakkab izafi or possessive phrase? Because Laylati does not have al, it does not have tanween on it, and it is followed by an ism that is majroor. So Laylatil Qadri is murakkab izafi, and it can be translated to night of decree or night of qadr. If we pay further attention, we see the harf jar fi. Fi is followed by an ism which is majroor. The presence of fi is making the ism following it majroor. Fi is a harf jar and fi laylatil qadri is a murakkab jari. Fi laylatil qadri can be translated to in the night of decree or in the night of qadr. The meaning of in is coming from fi. With the entire ayah taken together, it can be translated as, we have indeed revealed this message or this Quran in the night of power or the night of qadr or the night of decree.
In the third ayah, we see alfi shahrin. Alfi in this ayah is used for 1,000, and shahrin in this ayah is used for the meaning of months. Taken together, alfi shahrin can be translated to 1,000 months, and alfi shahrin is a murakkab izafi. Alfi shahrin is murakkab izafi because alfi meets criteria for it to be mudaf. There is no tanween and there is no al on alfi, and it is followed by shahrin, which is majroor. If we pay attention to the translation of alfi shahrin, which is 1,000 months, it does not indicate a relationship of possession or belonging. We studied previously in the definition of murakkab izafi that a murakkab izafi shows a relationship of belonging or possession between one ism and the other. But in this case, we are not seeing that relationship of belonging or possession in the case of 1,000 months. We should note that in Arabic grammar, the construction style of murakkab izafi can also be used to indicate certain numbering or certain counting, such as 3 to 10, 100 and 1,000. Inshallah, we will be studying this in more detail in the later sections. Furthermore, we move to min. Min is a harf jar. We studied that min means from. However,
Min can also be used to indicate then. Min alfi shahrin is a murakkab jari. Min is a harf jar and it is followed by an ism that is majroor. Taken together, min alfi shahrin can be translated as then 1,000 months. And the translation of the entire ayah is as follows. The night of decree is better than 1,000 months. 1,000 months comes from alfi shahrin and min is indicating the meaning of then. There are several examples of murakkab izafi and murakkab jari in the last two ayahs of the surah. For example, fiha. Fiha is a murakkab jari. It can be translated to in it. In fiha we see fi, which is harf jar, and it is followed by an attached personal pronoun that is majroor. Next, izni rabbihim. If we pay attention to izni rabbihim, this is actually a complex murakkab izafi or a complex possessive phrase. Let's pay attention to izni. Izni meets criteria for it to be mudaf. There is no tanween and there is no al. It is followed by Rabbi. Rabbi meets criteria for it to be mudaf ilayh because it is majroor. However, Rabbi also meets criteria for mudaf because there is no al and there is no tanween. And finally, him meets criteria for mudaf ilayh because it is majroor. So izni rabbihim is actually a complex murakkab izafi. It can be translated to permission of their Rabb. Let us pay attention to ba harf jar here. The addition of ba harf jar here will make bi izni rabbihim a murakkab jari. We have ba harf jar and it is followed by an ism that is majroor. Taken together, bi izni rabbihim is translated to with the permission of their Rabb. Next we have kulli amrin. Kulli amrin is a murakkab izafi. It can be translated to every decree. Kulli meets criteria for mudaf. There is no al, there is no tanween. And amrin meets criteria for mudaf ilayh. If we pay attention to the translation of kulli amrin, every decree does not establish or does not indicate a relationship of possession or belonging. Please note that kul means every. Arabic construction involving kul are written on the same pattern as murakkab izafi. For example, kullu talibin, every student. Kullu shay'in, everything. Kullu baytin, every house. Kullu babin, every door. In each of these examples, we see the common factor, which is kullu. But in each case, it is written on the same pattern as we would write murakkab izafi. Kullu does not have al, does not have tanween. It is written on the same pattern as we would write mudaf. And babin is majroor. It is written on the same pattern as we would write mudaf ilayh. Finally, min kulli amrin. Min is a harf jar and min kulli amrin is a murakkab jari. Min is harf jar and it is followed by an ism that is majroor. Taken together, the entire ayah can be translated as the angels and the Ruh, Jibreel alayhi salam, descend in it, that is the night of Al-Qadr, with their Rabb's permission with all decrees.
that is, to determine everyone's destiny. In the 5th ayah, we see the use of hatta. This is another harf jar which we will be studying later in this lecture, inshallah. So far, we have studied the following huruf jara that can be used with majroor personal pronouns. These are ba harf jar, lam harf jar or lam jara, fi, and now we will study the use of an and min with majroor pronouns. Please note that when used with huruf jara in murakkab jari or prepositional phrase, majroor personal pronouns bring out the meaning of him, her, it, you, me, us, and so on. Please also note the rules of who. We previously studied that if who is preceded by zabar or pesh, then it will be read and written as who, where we have ha with the inverted pesh on it. For example, Baituhu will be read and written as Baituhu, which means his house. If who is preceded by zair, it will be read and written like this, where we have ha with a vertical zair underneath it. For example, Baitihi, which also means his house. If who is preceded by ya with sukoon on it, it will be read and written as he, where we have ha with a regular zair underneath it, such as la raiba fihi. And finally, in all other cases, who will be written and read in its original form, such as minhu and qadamahu. Please also note the rules for huma, hum, and hunna. We studied that if huma, hum, and hunna are preceded by ya with sukoon on it or zair, they will be written and read as hima, him, and hinna. To revise all of this, we will use ba harf jar here as an example. Bihi, bihima, bihim, biha, bihima, bihinna, bika, bikuma, bikum, biki, bikuma, bikunna, bi, bina. In all of these examples, we see that the use of harf jar, in this case being ba harf jar, with majroor personal pronouns is bringing out the meaning of him, her, it, you, us, and me. For example, bihi can be translated to with him or with it. Bika can be translated to with you. Bina can be translated to with us. Here we will do the practice of using harf jar an with majroor personal pronouns. In the third person category, we have anhu, which can be translated to from him or from it. Please note that in the case of anhu, the hu part is written in its regular form. Anhuma, from them, referring to dual and masculine. Anhum, referring to masculine and plural. Anhum can be translated to from them. Anha, anhuma, anhunna. Please note that we are saying anhuma, anhum, anhunna, not anhima, anhim, anhinna, because huma, hum, and hunna are not preceded by ya with sukoon on it or zair. Anka, from you. Ankuma, from you two. Ankum, from you, referring to masculine and plural. Anki, ankuma, ankunna. Ankunna refers to feminine and plural. Ankunna can be translated to from you. Anna, from us. And in the next slide, we will look at how to combine an with ya. So let us study how an harf jar can be combined with ya. In the study of majroor personal pronouns, we had hu, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna, ka, kuma, kum, ki, kuma, kunna, ya, and na. We studied in the case of ya that this ya demands zair before it. In the case of ism, it always accepts this demand. So whenever an ism comes before ya, it will accept the demand of ya and it will accept a zair. In the case of fail, we will study inshallah that fail will never accept this demand of ya. In the case of harf, it will sometimes accept the demand and sometimes it will deny the demand of ya. So let us look at the case of an. An is followed by ya. In this case, ya demands zair from an. However, an refuses this demand. An refuses to accept zair according to the demand of ya. So this creates a deadlock between an and ya. In order to resolve the issue, there is a special noon that tends to mediate between an and ya. This noon is called noon-e-wiqaya, or the noon of protection or protective noon. So now we have a noon-e-wiqaya that comes in between an and ya, and this noon will accept the zair for an. So the final result is an plus ya with the mediation of noon-e-wiqaya becomes an-ni, and it will be written as follows with the shad on the noon. So the final result is an-ni, which can be translated to from me. Let us now study the use of min harf jar with majroor personal pronouns. Please note that min most commonly is also used with the meaning of from. Minhu, minhuma, minhum, minha, minhuma, minhunna, minka, minkuma, minkum, minki, minkuma, minkunna, minni. This is similar to the example that we studied in the case of anni. Minna. Minna means from us. Minni can be translated to from me. So far we have studied 8 huruf jara. These are ba harf jar, ta harf jar, waw harf jar, kaaf harf jar, lam harf jar or lam jara, fi, an, and min. Of these huruf jara, ba harf jar, lam jara, fi, an, and min can be used with majroor personal pronouns. Our next harf jar is ila. This is our 9th harf jar. Ila most frequently is used in the Quran to imply the meaning of to or towards. For example, we studied min makkata. Min makkata can be translated to from Makkah. Ila makkata, so ila brings out the meaning of towards. Min makkata ilal madinati, from Makkah to Medina. From is coming from min, and the meaning of to is coming from ila.
Please note that in this case, ilal madinati is written with a regular zabar on top of ila instead of the vertical zabar that we see here. There is a rule for this situation. When words that contain the vertical zabar, the vertical zair, the inverted pesh, they are read and written in continuation as if they are connected, then the vertical zabar becomes a regular zabar. The vertical zair becomes a regular zair, and the inverted pesh becomes a regular pesh. So in the case of min makkata ilal madinati, ilal madinati has ila and al madinati connected here. So because they are connected and they are read in continuation, we will write a regular zabar on top of ila. The meaning will still stay the same. Min al-bayti ilal masjidi. Once again, ila is connected with al-masjidi as ilal masjidi. So we will write the regular zabar on top of ila. Min al-bayti ilal masjidi can be translated as from the house to the mosque. In the Holy Quran, Surah number 17, ayah number 1, it is written, Min al-masjidil harami ilal masjidil aqsa, which can be translated to from al-masjidil haram to al-masjid al-aqsa. Min brings out the meaning of from, and ila brings out the meaning to. Once again, please note how ila is written because it is connected in the form of ilal masjidi. There are several examples of ila in Surah Al-Ghashiyah, which is Surah number 88 of the Holy Quran. In ayahs 17 to 20, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Then do they not look at the camels, how they are created, and at the sky, how it is raised high, and at the mountains, how they were fixed, and at the earth, how it is spread out. In all these ayah, we see the use of at the camels, at the sky, at the mountains, and at the earth. Ilal ibili can be translated as at the camels. Ilas samai, at the sky. Ilal jibali, at the mountains. Ilal ardi, at the earth. Ila can also be used with majroor pronouns or attached pronouns. So let us look at examples of use of ila with attached pronouns. Ilayhi. Please pay attention to how ilayhi is written with a regular zabar on the lam here. Please also note that we are saying ilayhi rather than ilayhu. Ilayhima, ilayhim. Ilayhim can be translated as to them or towards them, referring to plural and masculine. Ilayha, ilayhima, ilayhinna. Ilayka, ilaykuma, ilaykum, which means to you or towards you, referring to masculine and plural. Ilayki, ilaykuma, ilaykunna. Ilayya, to me or towards me, used both for masculine and feminine, and ilayna, to us or towards us. For example, in the Holy Quran, Surah number 88, ayah number 25, surely to us is their return. The translation of ilayna will be to us. Our next harf-jar is ala. This is the 10th harf-jar that we will be studying. Ala is most commonly used in the Quran to imply the meaning of on or upon. Ala can also be used with majroor pronouns or attached pronouns. A good example of the use of ala in the Holy Quran comes from Surah Al-Qadr, ayah number 7. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Allah has set a seal on their hearts and on their hearing and on their eyes. There is a covering, and for them awaits a mighty punishment. Ala qulubihim means on their hearts. Ala sam'ihim means on their hearing, and ala absarihim means on their eyes. Furthermore, we also see the use of lahum, which is translated to for them, and we see the use of lamijara with an attached pronoun. Let us study the use of ala with attached pronouns. Let us look at the use of ala with majroor personal pronouns. Alayhi, on him, on it, or upon him, or upon it. Alayhima, alayhim, on them or upon them. For example, in Surah Al-Fatiha, we see Surat al-Lazina an'amta alayhim, the path of those on whom you have bestowed your grace. Alayhim is used for on whom. Alayha, alayhima, alayhinna. Alayka, alaykuma, alaykum. For example, when Muslims greet one another, we say Assalamu alaykum, peace be upon you. Alayki, alaykuma, alaykunna. Alayya, on me or upon me. Alayna, on us or upon us. There are also examples that we can see in our daily prayer. For example, At-tahiyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibatu assalamu alayka. Peace and Allah's mercy and blessings be on you. Alayka means on you. And furthermore, Assalamu alayna, peace be on us and on the pious slaves of Allah. Alayna brings out the meaning of on us. The 11th and final harf-jar that we will be studying is hatta. Hatta means until. The example of hatta brings us back to the end of Surah Al-Qadr. In the last ayah, we see Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Hatta here is used for the meaning of until, and the ayah is translated as the night is peace until the rising of the dawn. This concludes our study of Huruf Jara.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.